The dating game is already difficult enough. And here I go, requiring that a woman be a daughter in Christ. When I do that, when I add these little layers, these little requirements, it makes my pool smaller and smaller. It makes it harder and harder for me to find a woman. I'm doing it to myself. Self-sabotaging. I'm a bot. Self-sabotaging. Like I don't know why I do it to myself, but she has to be a daughter in Christ. Just dating as a Christian in general is just super difficult because I'm still a man at the end of the day, and I still fall. I'm still weak. I still fall for the flesh. I try not to partake in the worldly games of dating multiple women, being sexual with multiple women, or being sexual with women at all. I'm trying to abstain away from that. When a girl slides up in my messages and she's coming at me sideways, I gotta tell God to get her out of my life. Make her vanish. Make her vanish before I do something that you're gonna be upset with me about. So it's just difficult as a Christian navigating these waters, because not everybody is a child of God, so they don't have particular morals that you may have or similar beliefs. So finding a woman who shares those beliefs, but genuinely, not just saying she's a Christian because saying that you're a Christian is the cool thing to do today, but actually being a woman that practices her faith, that actually reads her Bible, that actually communes with her people. Now, I'm not religious. I don't believe in religion. I believe religion is man made. I believe religion has been used for its own good, whether it's control, whether it's for money, for power. Religion has not been good. Um, and Christ never talked about religion. He never spoke religion. If anything, Christ was against religion. He was against the Sadducees and Pharisees at that time because they were doing things for their pockets. They were greedy. They were doing a lot of things for their own pockets, for their own good, and they thought they were greater than thou. So I don't believe in religion. I don't push religion on the people. If I were to claim anything, I'm more non-denominational. Like I definitely go to church to still commune with my people that believe in God, believe in Christ, but I'm not there for the aspect of saying I'm a Baptist or I'm a I don't know, man. All these different denominations, Pentecostal, but I grew up Baptist, but today I lean more towards non-denominational because I believe more just in my relationship with Christ and my relationship in God. I don't need all this other stuff. All that other stuff is just distractions and it's taking me away from what's important. And that's paying my respect to him and following his word, So let me get out of my preacher bag. But just being a Christian and finding a woman that shares the same beliefs as you do is very difficult. That's actually studying the word is very difficult. And that you still have an attraction to because you can't forget that. I can meet plenty of women that are, daughters in Christ, but I may not be attracted to them. So finding one that I'm attracted to still has the things that I like in a woman, and also her being a daughter in Christ, that can be difficult. That shrinks my pool. It just makes dating a whole lot harder for me. So I guess it's just about being patient, letting God do the heavy lifting for you. Focus on yourself, focus on getting stronger in the word, and you'll eventually, come across that woman. I think it is cool though that my church does like what is it? Almost like these date nights, something like that. I forgot what it's called, but like, well, you can go and meet different women. It's not, I wouldn't say it's like the love triangle. It's not blind dates, but It's just trying to get you to intermingle with people that share your same belief and stuff like that. And I think that's beautiful, because it's hard enough finding them out in the regular world. So the best chance you have is are the ones that go to your church, you know. So I don't know. It's just difficult. It's a difficult thing. Hard to navigate those waters. I have met some great girls though that are daughters in Christ, but it just didn't work out for whatever reason. Because just because you guys share the beliefs and maybe share the same morals and stuff like that doesn't mean it's going to work out. Relationships are super complex, and they have all these little different intricacies that need to have some kind of alignment in order for you two to work. It's more than just chemistry. It's more than just having the same beliefs. It's more than just having this sharing the same morals. It's a combination of a lot of things, um, that makes a person right for you, that makes a person fit for you. So finding alignment in those intricacies is just something very difficult to do. And you just got to take your time with it. Understand that this is not going to happen quickly or right away. You may have friends, or you may see other people and they may be in love, they may have a shorty, they may have a man, and you may be feeling some kind of way. Why don't I have that yet? Why can't I experience that yet? This person isn't even the daughter of God. He's not even a son of Christ, but yet he's living his life full of happiness with his partner. You can't allow other people's life to determine where your life should be. Your life is unique to yourself. And when it's your time, it's your time. And just because you see other people happy, that doesn't mean they're happy behind closed doors. Half of this stuff is fake. Social media, fake. You post all the good things on social media. Like, who's posting the negative things? Who's posting the fights with their partners? Who's posting those? Nobody. You're only gonna post the good. So that's all you're gonna see is good. So because all you see is good, that's all you're gonna think is happening within a relationship. You're only gonna think that they're having the best, most grand moments. When in actuality, in reality, relationships are like the waves, like they're up and down. They have peaks, they have valleys. So it's okay that you may not be where your friends are, or you may not be married at the same age your parents were, or have kids at the same age your parents did. Different time, different set of beliefs, different society at those times. I don't try to match myself with my parents. I did at one point. Shoot, my dad was married by 33, well, really by 30, had kids by 27. I don't look at my life to match that life because the world is different today. Women are different today. Women are not the same as they were, 30 years ago, 30 plus years ago. You know, Women have a little bit more independency to them, which can make things a little bit more challenging. Um, and it's just the complexity of I also want somebody who shares my beliefs. Now, my mom was a Christian, but my dad wasn't. So my mom wasn't necessarily trying to find a man who shared her beliefs, though she wish, she could have. But I think she would have preferred that. But I think of course, she's fine with who she married because they're married till today. That's her husband. And the thing about my dad is, I'm a half breed. I've seen it from both sides of somebody who's a believer and somebody who isn't. Now, though my dad wasn't a believer, he still understood that there were great things that came from Christianity, especially as it pertains to me becoming a man, me developing great morals and ways of thinking. So, like, even when me and my brother didn't go to church, my pops would come in our room and be like, "Why didn't y'all go to church today?" He'd be honest. And mind you, he don't go to church. But he would be on us for not going to church because he understood the value that came from it. but this is when we were younger though. Today, as he's gotten older, I think he's starting to believe a lot more. When you start seeing the finality of life, it changes your outlook on everything because it's a what if now. You grow up, you go through all these years of believing that God isn't real, but when you start seeing death, when you're more on the back end of your life, you start trying to get your affairs in order just in case your old God is real. Hold on. Let me pay some respect just in case he is real. And I do have to meet somebody after I close these eyes permanently. You know, it's a coin flip. Do you want to make that gamble of thinking God isn't real? I always say this. What do you lose? What do you lose believing in God? You don't lose anything. My life is still great. I have great friends, great family. I've met great women. I've lived a great life. I still do everything that I want to do. It's not like I'm restricted because I believe in God. It's not like my life is worse off because I believe in God. Now, I get the added benefit of if God is real, then I'm saved. If I die and he ends up being real, then I'm saved. Now, do you want to take the gamble? You don't lose anything believing, but you lose everything if you don't believe. So are you willing to take that gamble of not believing and losing everything? That's the question you got to ask yourself. You know, Once again, I didn't mean to get into my preacher bag. I'm passionate. I'm passionate about it. But I didn't mean to get into my preacher bag. Let's reel it back in. Let's reel this back in. I'm talking about dating as a Christian or trying to find a woman as a Christian. You know, it's difficult, man. It's difficult. And the woman has to be a daughter of Christ because God has impacted my life in so many different ways that he's what I talk about. I give thanks to him. My conversations are about him. Now, if you don't believe in that, then you'll never get to really know me on a deeper level. We'll never be able to connect like that. And I have experienced that with people that don't believe. I'm like, I can never truly connect with them like that because they'll never understand me. They'll never understand at my core when I speak of God and how he has affected my life, brought me from the bottoms after my brother was killed, after me facing depression, all kinds of stuff. God brought me out of that. So if you can't relate to that, you'll never understand. You'll never understand me fully. And when I realized that, that's when I realized I had to be with somebody that's a believer, somebody that knows Christ. Because people that know Christ share similar stories of how their life was in turmoil or they were going through something difficult and he pulled them from it. They'll understand me. They'll understand my story. They'll understand where I come from. They'll understand my way of thinking. And that's important in a relationship. It's not just chemistry and connection and the physical, it is a mental thing. I could be turned off from somebody just mentally. Like a woman could be beautiful to me, but if she doesn't stimulate my mind, if she just does things that turn me off mentally, then I can lose attraction to her. No matter how good she looks, no matter how good her body looks. Like if you don't stimulate me mentally, if I don't connect with you mentally, then it's almost dead. That's a no-go. So being able to connect with somebody that can resonate with you on that kind of level emotionally and mentally, that is what you need. That's almost the most important thing in a relationship, at least for the ones that you want to go the distance. So finding a woman that understands Christ and God in a way that I do and appreciates that relationship with them. I understand now, just being an older man, that is the type of woman that I need to be with. So her being genuinely into God is very important to me, and not just one of those people that go to church on Sunday and that's the last time they think about God or talk to God or read anything pertaining to God. I can't do that. That's that lukewarm Christian. That's that lukewarm believer. I need somebody who on fire. I need that fire. I need a woman who's in the word that can have that conversation with me daily about something. Maybe she doesn't understand a verse and I can help give her clarity on a particular verse. I need that type of relationship. That is the fruitfulness. That is somebody who adds value to me, that helps me become a better man. I help her become a better woman in the word, spiritually. So I need someone that pours into me spiritually, and I understand that today after going through my trial run of different women, secular women and Christian women. I used to be a player back in the day. I ain't gonna lie. I used to be a player back in the day. But it was all to get me to where I am today, to get my understanding today, to have the self-awareness today. So I never I never talk down on my past life. I never look at my past life with shame, because I don't become who I am today without the mistakes, you know. But yeah, I thank you guys for watching my content, listening to me rant. And if you like my content, please tap that little button at the bottom that subscribe. Subscribe, man. It's free. It's free. It really doesn't affect your life. No way. No way. So if you could, please subscribe, and I'll have more content on the way per usual. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.